In a world rewritten by history's hand, the Gold Coast was never just Africa's alone. By 1850, oppression walks heavy. Deep in the forested heart of the Ashanti kingdom, a new fire begins to burn. Among the red clay villages and sacred groves, the drums of defiance begin to speak once more. Her name is Efia Agyeman, daughter of a blacksmith born under a blood moon and marked by the elders as a spirit child. She has never bowed to any viceroy, never recited the foreign prayers, and never feared the whip of the white man or the saffron-robed Rajput guards who patrol her village. She is young, fierce, and dangerous, not because of her strength, but because of her memory. Efia remembers what others are forced to forget. She remembers the Oba shrine desecrated. She remembers the elder who vanished after refusing to pay double taxes. She remembers the taste of yams stolen from her family's land, now a plantation for export spices. She remembers what freedom used to sound like, the way the drummers called the gods and not the governors. But Efia is not alone. 1,000 miles away, across the jungle corridors and elephant paths, another boy grows restless. His name is Amar Singh. He is the son of an indentured officer from Calcutta, raised on African soil but trained in Indian tactics. His father swore loyalty to the Anglo-Indian alliance, but Amar sees only hypocrisy. He sees his fellow Indians forced to spy, to inform, to stand guard over a people whose chains they once wore back home. Amar doesn't want to be a soldier. He wants to be a liberator. And fate, cruel and clever, brings them together. The meeting happens in the slave market of Kumasi. Efia is there, not to buy or sell but to mark targets. She is already planning her first strike. Amar is there to supervise inventory, wearing his father's coat but not his father's heart. When the soldiers begin to beat an old Ashanti man for resisting auction, Efia steps forward. Her eyes burn. Amar hesitates. Then a moment. He steps in, stops the whip. No one breathes. He stares at her. She stares back. Shah. That night fire devours the auction block. No one sees who did it. But Efia and Amar both vanish from official records. The Ashanti rebellion is born in the shadows, not with parades or flags, but in whispers and stolen blueprints. Efia gathers warriors from the outer villages, hunters, herbalists, blacksmiths, and barefoot messengers who carry secrets through the trees. Amar brings knowledge, maps of troop movements, diagrams of forts, passwords spoken in broken Hindi and twisted TWA. Their first mission is sabotage. A gunpowder depot near Lake Bosumtwi, guarded by British rifles and Indian scouts. They strike at night. The lake reflects fire as the sky splits open. In one stroke, the rebellion proves it exists. From there, the uprising spreads. They attack tax convoys. They ambush caravans carrying sacred masks and drums bound for foreign museums. They cut rail lines meant to export cocoa, gold, and human labour. They free captives being marched south for trade. Their methods are swift, brutal, precise, and symbolic. Every action sends a message the land remembers. But it is not easy. The colonial machine is massive. The Viceroy calls in reinforcements from Bombay and London. New regiments arrive with strange technologies, sky lanterns for night patrols, steam-powered trackers, and men who speak only the language of conquest. Efia loses her brother in a firefight near the Volta River. Amar is wounded by a poisoned spear meant for him. One of their camps is betrayed. They must keep moving. They learn new ways. They use the jungle. They use sound. Talking drums become more than music. They become code. Bird calls become alarms. Ancient symbols drawn in chalk guide rebel runners through sacred forests, unseen by drones or scouts. But the rebellion is not just about war. It's about stories. Each village they pass, Efia tells the tale of how gods walk again, how the ancestors rise, how the soil rejects the invaders. Amar teaches children how to read enemy orders, how to build kites that carry fire, how to turn British inventions into African weapons. And then comes the moment. The final plan. The fortress of Elmina. The stronghold where gold is weighed, treaties signed and rebel heads displayed on pikes. It is both a symbol and a target. Efia wants it fallen. Amar wants it recorded. They disguise themselves. Efia as a trader's wife, Amar as a wounded messenger. They infiltrate the outer market, slip notes to allies, mark weak points in the walls. Inside the fortress is a vault, both of treasure and information, documents that prove the exploitation, the secret deals, the betrayals. On the 7th day of the Ashanti calendar, the drums begin. From the north, rebel hunters descend. From the south, fishermen arrive with hidden blades. From the east, the sky glows. Amar's team releases lanterns filled with burning powder. A distraction. The guards scatter. The gates are opened from within. Efia leads the charge. It is not a clean battle. It is not glorious. It is fire, screams, mud and rage. But by dawn, the Ashanti flag flies again above the fortress walls. Inside, the rebels find more than weapons. They find letters written in both English and Sanskrit. Evidence that the suffering was always coordinated. That African land was traded for Indian manpower, and Indian soldiers were promised dominion over African lives. They leak the letters. It sparks fury on 2 continents. In Calcutta, protests break out. In Lagos, students refuse to speak English or Hindi in school. The empire begins to fracture. The Ashanti rebellion spreads not just in territory, but in spirit. Other kingdoms rise, other borders blur, a new vision begins to form. A vision not of Africa or India beneath any crown, but side by side. Free, fierce, and whole. The rebellion did not end with Elmina. It became a movement, and in time, a nation. A place born not of maps or treaties, but of memory, fire, and the unstoppable will of the young. Efia Agaman and Amar Singh became myths. But in truth, they were only 2 teenagers who said no, and meant it. And when they rose, others did too. That is the story of the Ashanti rebellion, and that is why the land still remembers.